Tyger and Lyon Part 24. Written and pictures by the Furry Sith Lord. Lou returned home from the vet's office, exhausted, after finalizing his portion of the tests in order to free and adopt the cubs. Both he and Lego had donated 2 pints of blood each to get tested and purified. What the vet explained was that in order for them to adopt and make their cubs as their natural-born sons, each parent needed to give a pint of blood each to be purified and transfused into the cub. Since they had Lion and Tiger, they each had to give 2 pints. Even Lego was weakened by the donations. Since deer and wolf blood was not compatible with felines, their samples needed to be purified so that their blood would fit their physiology. All they needed to do now was wait for the blood to return, and the cubs would become Lou and Lego's sons. Though they wanted to keep this secret to surprise Tiger and Lion, once everything was finalized, life was about to change for the whole household. John was finishing up an email that he was rushing to finish. He needed to set everything in order before he ended it all. In his refrigerator, a plate of brownies the Doberman had given him sat wrapped with plastic wrap. He had kept them in case he needed them, but he could not bring himself to use them on his new nephews. He regretting lying to Lou and Lego, but he needed to keep his cover with Caesar, in case they were listening in on him. He did not want them to know he had switched the real ones for the fake ones. He had lied about eating them because even if Lou had not thrown them against the wall, he would not eat one. Neither would he poison his nephews no matter how much trouble he'd be in. He had bought filtered brownies and brought them to give the cubs. After the last meeting with the Doberman, he had decided ending it all was the best way to get out of this mess. That way the Doberman could no longer manipulate him. He had to admit that he fell in love with the cubs and no longer wanted to do Cizé's dirty work. He was typing the last sentence when there was a knock on the door of his apartment. "Just a second," he said as he sent it off, then went to the door and saw the Doberman standing there. John frowned, but motioned for him to enter. Then he saw that there were 2 police officers following him. "Something going on?" John asked nervously. "Mr. Canadiel, I have a warrant to search your apartment," the Doberman said as he showed the warrant to John. "A warrant? For what?" John asked. "We believe you have certain inappropriate pictures and videos in your possession that are illegal," the Doberman said, and the officers began to search his belongings, and one officer was checking the files on his computer after inserting a special drive into the USB slot. "What game are you playing? You know I'm innocent," John asked the Doberman as he smiled back at him. "I warned you not to fuck with us, and now you'll pay the price," the Doberman said as he sneered. "Sir, we found something. A file marked private is filled with images of cubs. All are highly illegal," the officer at John's computer said. "Care to explain?" the Doberman asked. "Those aren't mine. I never saw any of that before. You're setting me up," John screamed as one of the officers put a slave collar on him. "Do you know what they do to slaves like you that do this kind of thing to cubs?" the Doberman asked. Then he stepped over to John and pressed his thumb to the plate on front of the collar. "You will obey me," the Doberman ordered, and John was led to a slaver where he would wait until he was sold. "What about a trial?" John asked nervously. "You think anyone would doubt my word? No trial for you. You're going to be a slave for the rest of your life," the Doberman said. "Take him away," he ordered the 2 officers. An adult tiger sat at a desk typing on a computer in his office. He was dressed in army fatigues, though he was not a member of the military. He was just a big supporter of them, but he never enlisted because he would not allow anyone to give him orders. He felt he always had to be the one in charge unless there was an angle involved that he could manipulate. His cell rang, and he took it out of a holster on his belt. It was an Appleberry Fur Phone 7. "Will Panther AT, how may I help you?" he asked, hoping this was a new client calling with a job for him. "Greetings, Will Panther AT, my name is Chopper Kennedy D. I understand you are a mercenary of sorts," the Doberman asked, his voice filled with amusement for some reason. "I'm more of a detective, but also a bounty hunter, not really a mercenary. If you have a job, we can arrange a meeting and discuss it." Will said. "Definitely. I believe you are friends with a Lego Kennedy W?" the Doberman asked. "Not that I'm aware of," Will replied. "You never went to Bearley Academy with a gray wolf named Lego?" the Doberman asked, shocked. "Oh my paws, that was like ages ago. I don't remember half of the people I knew there." "Wait, Lego you said? I remember a brain-dead wolf there. We hated each other. Why are you asking about him?" Will said as he vaguely remembered Lego from school. He rose and went to a filing cabinet and took out an old yearbook from when he graduated. He found an old picture of Lego and the memories came back about how they were rivals. They never got along, but they never really hated each other. He just remembered the wolf used to chase after a deer that hated his guts. He remembered Lego was trying to become friends with the deer named Lou. Lou Servade was a rich snob that tried to run the place. He mostly complained about his father and trying to impress him. He just seemed like a daddy's boy to Will. He was only useful because he was rich. Will found an old picture of John, a yellow Labrador that was nice to him. They stumbled across the picture as he flipped through his yearbook. This brought back a lot of old memories. He remembered John fondly and saw that he wrote him a nice message in his yearbook. Good luck to a great guy and a good friend. And then had John's signature. The greeting read in the yearbook next to John's picture. He had forgotten about him, but he had always liked John. He just never figured out why he wanted to hang around with that idiot wolf. Hero worship, he guessed. Maybe because they were both canines. When do you want to meet? The Doberman asked. This ends part 24. We hope you enjoyed it. See you next time for part 25.
We have no family. We have no home. Is there a place we will be accepted? Hated at home by society. Together we stand alone. Is there a place that we can call home? I believe we have a place we can call home. I believe we have a place